unfolding the mirror of a cracked cosmos. Imagine a world as delicate and finely spun as the gossamer threads of a spider's web, stretched taut over the chasm of human failure. World that gleams with the illusion of perfection just before it shivers into fragments. Into this fragile lattice of enlightenment thought and rigid optimism steps Voltaire, wielding not a hammer, but a feather tipped in ink and acid. Candide, his shimmering philosophical satire, is not merely a story. It is a mirror, a puzzle, a cosmic jest delivered with a straight face and a dagger under the cloak. We find ourselves in a time where sincerity is often a currency rarer than gold, and hope is sold in bottles with fine print disclaimers. Yet even in our digital cathedrals and globalized empires, the questions Voltaire pressed into the mold of Candide resonate with undiminished electricity. What is the nature of suffering? Can belief in a rational order survive the earthquake of experience? Is the universe orchestrated by divine harmony, or are we merely ants scrambling across indifferent terrain, believing our dance is choreographed? But Candide is not a lament. It is a crucible. It burns away the surface of things to reveal the bones beneath the brittle. Luminous bones of thought, of philosophy, of innocence stripped bare by catastrophe. In Candide himself, we encounter a soul spun of naivete, launched like a paper boat into the storm waters of history. His journey becomes a cosmic pilgrimage not to sacred shrines, but to the gritty alleys of Lisbon, the shadowy plantations of the New World, and the theoretical purity of El Dorado. With every step, he sheds layers of illusion, like the serpent, shedding its skin not to reveal purity, but a raw and uneasy awareness of the absurd. To read Candide is to step through a looking glass into a world that mocks the very idea of the looking glass. Voltaire constructs a universe only to demolish it, a castle of syllogisms ready to be toppled by one well-placed fart joke or a tale of cannibalistic priests. The laughter here is sharp, surgically it dissects rather than delights. It does not offer the comfort of answers, but the exhilarating discomfort of questions that bloom like bruises. The backdrop to Voltaire's work is the Enlightenment, that incandescent dawn of reason and progress, which believed perhaps to rapturous the perfectibility of man and the clockwork elegance of the cosmos. Yet Voltaire, standing within that same golden glow, sensed something lurking in the lighter shadow cast by excessive certainty. In Candide, he lights a candle not to illuminate but to scorch, to burn away the dogmas calcified in the name of truth. Leibnizian optimism, the belief that we live in the best of all possible worlds, becomes not an anchor but a balloon tied to a drowning man. With every calamity, Pangloss, the high priest of this philosophy, tightens his grin, bleeding out wisdoms that grow increasingly surreal. War, rape, slavery, dismemberment, all are in Pangloss's system, just pieces of a divine puzzle, misunderstood only because we stand too close to the canvas. But Voltaire was not content to skewer philosophy with satire alone. He infused Candide with the breath of myth, with the cycle of fall and return. It is, in many ways, a spiritual epic turned inside-out, Homeric in scope, but fractured through the prism of skepticism, where Odysseus seeks home and identity. Candide stumbles forward, propelled not by will but by a kind of ideological inertia, a momentum inherited from teachings he cannot yet discard. His odyssey is not one of heroic conquest, but of erosion of grand ideas slowly ground down into dust by the grinding millstone of experience. The power of Candide lies in its paradox. It is both featherlight and lead-heavy. Its style is crisp, even breezy, yet each page hums with the weight of existential inquiry. Like a child's kaleidoscope filled with glass shards from shattered stained glass windows, it spins out patterns that are dazzling, beautiful, and composed entirely of ruins. Every character is a reflection in a funhouse mirror, every place a stage upon which ideals dance briefly before collapsing into tragicomic farce. To explore this novel is to walk a tightrope, stretched over an abyss of irony. One cannot take the events too literally, yet behind their absurdity lies a searing earnestness. There is a core of molten truth beneath the snow of laughter. Voltaire's brilliance lies in his refusal to grant us rest. Just when the satire feels too sharp, he gives us a moment of genuine sorrow. When the darkness threatens to overwhelm, he slips in a line so ridiculous it reorients our entire moral compass. He knows that life, like literature, resists resolution in this way. Candide offers not answers but instruments, a scalpel to dissect illusion, a mirror to catch the light of our own absurdities, a seed from which we might grow our own gardens, perfect but real. In the final pages, Voltaire whispers what the cosmos itself might be saying. If we could hear beyond the white noise of human certainty, we must cultivate our garden, not as a grand, redemptive act, but as the smallest rebellion against the entropy of despair. As we begin this exploration, let us cast aside the expectation of linear clarity. Instead, we shall descend or ascend into a layered dream, a spiral of symbols, a dance between satire and sincerity. Candide is a map, not to where truth lives, but where illusions go to die. And in their death, something unexpected emerges, not nihilism, but a kind of freedom. The freedom to choose thought over dogma, action over passivity, and perhaps most importantly, to laugh while the universe burns. The garden of illusions and the cosmic jestin, the vast tapestry of human thought, where philosophy and folly dance, an eternal waltz. There exists a slender volume that cracks open the universe like a mischievous god's egg Candide, or Optimism by Voltaire. To read it is to step into a hall of mirrors where every reflection grins back with a different face. One moment a satire, the next a tragedy, then a love story, and finally a cosmic joke whispered across the ages. The tale of Candide, the wide-eyed disciple of Dr. Pangloss's unshakable optimism, is more than a romp through war-torn Europe and the New World's treacherous shores. It is a pilgrimage through the human condition itself, a journey that asks, with a smirk and a sigh, if this is the best of all possible worlds, then what, pray tell, are the others like? Voltaire, that sharp-tongued luminary of the Enlightenment, did not merely write a novel, he crafted a labyrinth. At its center sits not a minotaur, but an idea. The absurdity of blind faith in a universe that so delights in chaos. Candide. Odyssey from the idyllic castle of Thundertentrank to the disillusioned shores of Constantinople mirrors our own stumbling through life's grand, often cruel theater. Each catastrophe, each twist of fate, is a brick in Voltaire's rye. Argument that to insist on perfection in the face of suffering is not wisdom, but madness. And yet, beneath the satire's razor edge, there is a strange tenderness, as if Voltaire, like a weary parent, shakes his head at humanity's follies even as he cannot help but love us for them. The world of Candide is one where earthquakes swallow cities, where priests preach virtue and practice vice, where gold is found and lost in the same breath. It is a world both alien and eerily familiar, for it is our own, stripped of its pretenses. Voltaire's genius lies in his ability to make us laugh at the horror, to see the farce in the tragedy. When Candide, after surviving shipwrecks and betrayals, stumbles upon the mythical city of El Dorado, only to leave it for the sake of a love that may not even remember him. We chuckle at his folly. But then, with a jolt, we recognize ourselves. In him, how often have we, too, traded golden paradises for gilded cages? And what of Pangloss, that unflappable philosopher who, even when hanged, dissected, and enslaved, clings to his mantra that all is for the best? He is no mere caricature, but a shadow we all cast.